Hello and welcome to Storytelling Content to Concept to Copy. And today we're talking about launching campaigns. Everybody's been wondering since I started this, when I showed you about the launching of the campaigns, how to actually go about that. We didn't go in depth into campaign launch because I didn't want to go into that just yet, but we're starting out with that on this video. And I'm going to take you to the campaign launch document. What is a campaign? A campaign, when you think of campaigns, most people's thoughts immediately go to politics. They go to the concept of a political campaign, of how they go about the process of campaigning to get what it is that they desire, which is themselves, into these political offices. That means in political formats, you see a series of things that they do in order to go about it and get the votes of the people. The best variation I saw of this, and anybody can attest to this, was one. The TV show Scandal showed you the whole background and backdrop of what it takes to create a political campaign in the first season, when Olivia was taking the time to create a campaign for Fitz in the show. Now, reality, the best ever format of a campaign. You guessed it, the Obama campaign for his first and second term. People still on a high from that. People still kind of crying from that, because they kind of still wish he was still in office. That's not here nor there. But when it came down to a visual concept for a launch of a campaign, people know that as the best campaign that we've seen. Now, how do you take a campaign and do so for a book or book launch? You figure out what your topic matter is. For that, it was about finding that statement that resonated with the people. I can't for the life of me think of it off the top of my head right now. But they had a big campaign around it. I believe it was Rock the Vote. Was that Rock the Vote? It might have been Rock the Vote. I don't know whether that was the first one or the second one, but I do know one of them had Rock the Vote. Then you figure out, where is your opportunities? Where are you going to promote at? Political people, you see them on television shows, political campaigns. They draw in people to be their promotional salesmen, sponsors, so on and so forth. You, as a book writer, unless you have a collaborative collection of people, that's where you go and you reach out to other book authors that are on the same level as you, and you start to do a promotional campaign collabing with those authors, because you've got like topics or comparative topics that you can sell your books either in a bundle, as a pair, even just as some type of way that you can do some type of content together. Then you can also do local talk shows, do a tour doing your local community talk shows in relation to whatever topic it is. You can reach out to local publications and put your book, your content in the local magazines. Look up local TV shows, cable access networks, so on and so forth, as a way to bring buzz to what it is that you're interested in. Depending on what it is that you're talking about, you could actually even do local ministries. You want to create a buzz around what it is that you're doing. So you want to promote on vlogs, public forums, talk shows, radio shows. You can do radio by creating some type of launch strategy by pitching your book to these radio shows. Now, here's one where I have a book concept that allows you the ability to wrote a full diagnostic of what it would be to pitch a book to said audience for a podcast. I'm giving them the book, I'm giving the title, I'm giving the links to the Amazon bestseller list, I'm giving you places that you can find it, I'm giving you content that I'm interested in off of your podcast that I fell in love with, and I'm reaching out to say, okay, let's collaborate. And I'm showing you where my qualifications are. I'm showing you the top episodes, so on and so forth. And then I'm giving you at the end a book summary. And you do this for multiple places that you want to do for the book tour on radio. For your radio tour. You see this happen a lot of times with musicians when they put out a new song or track of some sort. First thing you do is they're going to every radio source imaginable. They're booked a full tour through all of the promotional radio shows that will give that song access to people. They're either promoting the song or they're promoting a full album or they're promoting a song that by the time that they finish the tour, the promotional tour, it will be done and the album will be done and they will be launching the album at the end of that promotional tour. 9 times out of 10, when you see the promotional tour done for a musician, they usually do their radio simultaneous to their launch of the album, so that every city that they're in for their actual tour date, they are on the radio promoting that they're going to be at the venue that night. You see that most cases. So as an author, what you can do is you get connected with a place like Kitcaster or another promotional hub, and you line up with a radio manager or something like that, and they would have they'd set up all of your radio interviews, and you would have all of your locations that you're going to actually be doing your the events for the book tour simultaneously. So let's say you're doing a radio show in this state, you're going to do the book tour in that same location that same day. And maybe you're doing a series of radio tours where you're not actually going into the actual location, purview of what we got going on in the world today, most people are probably just going to do Zoom calls, and they'll do their actual book, do virtual, virtual book launches. Especially if you can't really afford to have a full venue packed out, you do a virtual book launch. That way you have a higher guarantee that people are going to show up to the virtual book launch in comparison to showing up to a live event, as things are starting to open back up the way that they are. And then you slowly give option to come in person, so on and so forth. Now, what's another way that you could do this? You have a launch week. Most people do a launch week, so you want to create an urgency for people to come in. You have days 1 through 7 to launch the actual thing, the book that you're promoting. The best way to do that is you can do your radio appearances, try to set them up one day after another. Or you can, if you're going to do a Facebook, Instagram promotion, you set up your Facebook business suite in such a way that you're creating a series of posts that are going to get you engagement, that people are going to look at, that people will see. With articles, I don't know, can I open any of these? Here is one that I did for my podcast. I'm trying to see. Can I see the content that I wrote in there? There's a comment. I'm trying to see if there's. There's the content for the post. And you can see the full blog article. What you want to do is you want to create a maneuverability that, like I said in the other video, you want to create a hype around it. That means you want to put, if you want to do all your narrative videos, your videos that are promotional videos, no words, I told you, because Facebook will jump on you. You want to do it not as a business account, do it as a personal account, especially if you're new and you don't have the money like that. You want to do it as a personal account, because when you do it as a personal account, Facebook is less likely to grab you and suppress your posts. If you do a week of videos and reels and stuff like that on Instagram that will promote you, but you want to create a viability that could potentially create a viralness for your content on the social media platform that you are promoting to. And then you want to take that next step, and you want to promote through, you want to ask questions, you want to create a buzz around it. Like, let me see if I can open some of my, you want to create questions. Like, you have these tiles that you can do on social media for your Instagram, but ask the audience certain questions that will trigger them to desire to want to engage with the post. For example, let's look at this one. I'm inviting people to talk to me. Ask me anything. Ask me what it is that you're interested in. You create a Ask Me Anything, but you also pose a question for them to answer because you want to get their engagement within the community so that they will be more so willing to be interested in what it is that you're promoting. Now, how else can you do this? You can do this by, I think I got another post right behind that. Let me see. This is a question that I posed, and it's a series of little notations that could be topics for that week as a launch week series. Now, how do you really get engagement? I'm going to show you something that someone did that I admire. This is Shameless Maya. Her name's Maya Washington. She recently just got married, but she created a 15-week challenge where she put one video up a week and she engaged with her audience to ask questions to get them to share and be more open within the community that she had created. So the way she did so, she created the content and she would put a synopsis and then she would record a video. If you're launching a book, you can take segments and sections from your book. Maybe you're talking about topics that are in the book. Maybe you've written a narrative book that is a story. Maybe you come in and you talk about something that the character went through in that chapter and you ask if the people went through something similar. But you create 15 weeks or 15 days straight to launch a series, and people will come in and they do content, responses through video, through comments, so on and so forth, in order to create some form of engagement within the information in which you've created. You can do 2-3 minute YouTube videos. You can do the sky is the limit on how you can do it, but you can create challenges and you would use your writing. You can even create writing challenges. Challenge the people to write something. Challenge the people to create videos for something. But give them something to do that will engage their activity with what it is that you're talking about. So by the time that you launch your book, your podcast, your whatever it is that you're doing to promote whatever it is that you've written, people become engaged with that and it becomes the perfect launching pad for what it is that you are creating. And you go through that series of days, and then afterwards, you, on the day of the actual launch, you do a post and then you do a giveaway. Meaning, if y'all stayed engaged up until this point, we're going to give you something away for the people that come in, for the most people that come in to the podcast, for the most people that purchase the book, for the most people that whatever. Maybe you do a course. Maybe you do what have you, in order to create a launching strategy to launch that thing for people to engage and be a part of what it is that you have created. Then you do like your advertisements, meaning the video advertisements I showed you previously. You create a trailer. You can create flyers that will be beautiful flyers that you will promote on your social media. You can do actual physical flyers. You can do advertisements. Create a theme for your advertisements. Do a theme for your social medias and your social media posts if you go offline. Just all of the things that we did in the brainstorming process up until now, you can use all of those elements to be part of your launching strategy for your book. Then you would do a book tour, the process of the event, the cost of the event, for the amount that you would need to do in order to cover your payments, and if you want to double that in order to get your salaries and all of that type of stuff. Depending on how you do. And how early you prepare it. You can book a venue. You can have each person pay $500. You can have somebody do certain amounts for each. But it's like you can make money depending on how you book the tickets. Now, if you're not doing a live event, I wouldn't suggest you charging people $500 for an event ticket. Now, if you got an event where it's mostly virtual, I recently attended an event virtually, and the ticket price for the 2 days I was at the event was $200. You know, I was sitting my butt in front of this computer screen, just making sure that I was attending my session, and they have the replay available, and I'm seeing about getting that. So, and you pay for that. If you're alive, if you went there to the event personally, that person gets the cost of the virtual replay and having bought the ticket, because they probably spent more than the people that bought the virtual ticket to be at the event. If you have VIP, what would be that? What's the upgrade for the VIP person? If it's a physical event, is the VIP get a special session day where only the VIPs are at that day? Is it a special day that you get a coaching session that you go through a full gamut of whatever it is that you talked about in the book? For people that are going to are writing the book to sell off a coaching thing, because I'm gonna tell you something. Let's just be real with it. Let's be real. Most people don't write books nowadays to write books. Most people write books as a calling card, because a book gives you a notability, because if you can get that book on Amazon bestseller list, then people are like, oh, I can find you. I see a #1 best-selling book from you. You're a authority in this industry. You are an influencer. I will take your coaching class or your coaching sessions. That's what most people do to promote or launch. So for me, this is just one strategy that you can take a series of these things, and you can just create a launch strategy that will build you out a series of things, so that you can do to promote, launch, and sell the product that you're interested in selling. So this is Taj McCarran from Storyteller, Concept to Content to Copy. Until next time, much love, faith, peace, and blessings. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.